Hello and welcome to another episode of our World of Work interview with series. It's going to be another insight into the various different opportunities, courses and careers that you can think about pursuing if you're a little bit unsure. Today, I've got the wonderful Sophie with me here to do the interview.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm studying sports science with management. I'm in my first year at Loughborough College.
Perfect. So we're going to get straight on into the interview and sort of, with the course that you're studying right now, what sort of subjects and, what did you do at A level? Did you do at an FE college? How did you get to where you are now?
So I went to a normal school, did my GCSEs, and for that I just chose subjects that I enjoyed because at that stage it didn't really matter what I picked. So although I didn't have to pick any specific GCSEs to go into sport, I tried to get involved with as much sport as I could inside and outside of school because that made a huge difference. Then when I did A levels, I did choose PE as, again, it's what I enjoyed. Although it's actually not necessary to do PE as an A level to do a degree in sports science. I would recommend it though, because so many of the topics overlap when you do go to uni, and it was so helpful in me understanding the basic ideas quite quickly. For most universities though, they do recommend, if you're going to do sports science, that you take some sort of science. So normally like biology, which again, like I would recommend because I think it would help you understand the course a lot.
No, that's perfect. I think that's a really useful insight for those people that perhaps aren't aware of exactly what you need to do. So as you said, there was no real sort of specific requirements. It's just more, they advise, having a sport background, and they advise having some sort of a science background. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think get involved with as much sport as you can because it all helps with the practical side of things. If you want to go into sports science and you just understand a little bit more, and you do need to kind of look up about biology and stuff, so I would recommend that. And just even like the research processes of the different sciences. So if you're not that into biology, even chemistry or something like that.
No, that's perfect. And you said you did sport at A level. Have you noticed quite a big jump from doing sport at A level to doing your course, or has it been quite gradual? How have you found it?
So it's actually been fairly gradual. I think if I hadn't have done PE A level, not that I'd struggle, but it would be a big jump because it is a lot of information being thrown at you, especially I think doing any science at uni is quite difficult and is going to be a step up because there are loads of new concepts and loads of different ways of doing things, and it is more independent. So instead of having someone there telling you this is what you need to know, you need to do a lot of like reading and researching on it, which is sometimes a bit tricky. But I found with me doing PE at A level, actually so many of my modules, so the different sections within my course, actually follow up like really nicely and link really nicely too. There are a couple that don't, but then again, like that's fine and that's what you expect. It helps you to get ready for the second year where you might not know as much as you do in the first year.
No, that's perfect, and really nice that the fact that you've kind of got stuff that you've already learned to build on, but also some brand new stuff. It's kind of like a nice blend. At the end of the day, you wouldn't want it all to be brand new because then you kind of like it is quite bewildering. But then also you don't want to just everything you've already covered before because it's you like that sort of new side. So I think it sounds like it's a perfectly balanced course. So thank you. And then sort of moving on, kind of what have you found that you've been able to develop while studying this course? What are the sort of skills that have really sort of come out from studying?
So during this course, I have learned so many skills already, and I'm only in my first year. So I've learned how to lead, how to present. It's boosted my confidence loads and also my independence as well. So what like independence is so important as well if you want to go into sport, because it's one of those industries where you are left alone quite a lot and you are trusted to go and get on and do stuff yourself, do testing yourself, organize things yourself. So it's really helped me to organise my time effectively to make sure that everything gets done. And I think that's similar of any uni course you do because it is a lot of independent research and study, which if you choose a subject that you enjoy is normally not much trouble at all because you like learning about it. I think my course in particular, so my sports course, it teaches you how the human body works, as well as how that affects your performance in sporting scenarios, but also in society with kind of physical activity and that stuff. You also get to learn about psychology and how people think, which also directly relates to athletes, but also normal people and how they interact with physical activity. You get to look as well with my sports science of management course, the management side of things. It teaches me how businesses work, and how to effectively manage people, which is something that I'm also interested in. And so I've really enjoyed doing a course which is kind of split sports science with management, because sports science alone I'm really interested in, but I did have that side of me that wanted to also learn a bit more about management. And it's also not that it's super difficult to get into the sports industry if you've kind of done the right things, but it was always a backup for me. So if I don't get into sports, then I can look at the management side of things and maybe go into something different in that way.
No, that sounds perfect. I never realized that, you get that sort of business and management side whilst doing sport. I think that's incredible. So would you say that the course is doing quite well in equipping you with these sort of transferable skills that you can use for a variety of different things rather than just specifically a certain aspect of the sport industry?
Yeah, definitely. I think I obviously can't speak for a pure just sports science course, but I know that at my college there are kind of 4 sports science groups, and a lot of the modules, the different sections that we do in first year are the same. But with sports management, we have to do a couple of management ones, and I found those are like super transferable to pretty much any job, because it is the basis of all areas of work really, which I think is really good because it has prepared me for, I do want to go into sports, but if that can't happen, I would still feel comfortable going into other areas with the knowledge that I do have.
No, I think that's great that you kind of feel so ready and so flexible with all the different options that you've got. So thank you. That's a great message to share. And then, kind of what is the one thing that you'd like to share with students that are perhaps thinking about taking your course or going into sort of the sports industry as a whole? Is there anything that you'd like to get, a word of warning or something positive to kind of share with them?
Yeah, so I'd say when wanting to go into sports, don't worry about getting everything done as quick as you can in like the classroom way. So you don't have to do GCSEs, A levels, straight to university, do that 3-year course, because I'm not necessarily that much of an expert, but I would say you wouldn't get a job straight after that. In the sports industry, it is all about making connections with different people by going to different events and getting involved with different things. It's about experience. Most jobs that you look at in the sports industry when you come out of university want a couple of years experience in things. So I'd say I took a year out after my A levels and I went and taught in a secondary school, a boarding school, was a rugby coach and did sports stuff there. And then I also taught primary school PE. And that was great for me because I didn't necessarily enjoy it that much, but it was helpful in that it gave me experience and it showed me that that part of the sports I don't want to do. So don't worry about wasting time, taking time out to go and do other things. Because ultimately, if you're doing something useful in that time, as long as you're not sitting around, it is all helpful. And in sports, experience is so important, and you only get that experience by going out and doing things, even if it is voluntary, even if it's unpaid. And the connections that you make will be so useful, because if you do a good job at what you're doing, people remember you and they're people then to reach out. And in that way, I'd also say when looking at universities and colleges, just like have a think about if you do want to go into sports, especially elite sports, the links that that university has. Are they close to a football team, a rugby team, that they may have internships and little, I don't know, 2-week, 3-week programs for you to go and get involved in, because that's really important as well.
I think I really like that as a message, actually, the fact that any experience is going to be good experience. And as you say, you know, yes, it would be great to kind of do something and realize like, yes, this is exactly, you know, the kind of area that I want to focus in. But also if you realize actually this aspect is something that I don't enjoy, I'm not interested, whatever, that's also very, very positive, because then it, you know, helps you cut down your, you know, the different options that you had. So thank you. I think that's a really great message to share. And we've just got one final question for you, and it's perhaps a little bit mean because you are in your first year, but you did say that you were interested in, you know, the various different aspects of the sport industry. But you know, where do you see yourself once you graduate in a couple of years' time? What is there a specific job that you're after, or is, you know, is it a particular area of the industry?
So for me, I think I've decided I would like to go into elite sports, so that kind of route. And obviously with my management degree, possibly like sports management for a rugby club or something like that. I quite like the idea of that. But then again, that's what I thought when I started going to uni. And as the different sections have come up, I've seen loads of different things that I'm like, I didn't even know this was a side of sports that I'm beginning to really enjoy as well. So there's still lots of time for it to change, but again, just going to go and get experience in different areas to decide what I really like doing and what I don't like doing. So yeah, hopefully elite sports, but that's as far as I've got at the moment.
No, I mean, it was quite a mean question. I mean, I don't know whether I still know what I want to be doing, but I think, yeah, you know, the fact that you're right, you've got 2 years left of the course, so many more modules to experience, so many more different topics, it could all change in an instant. But if it is, you know, elite sport that you want to get into, I wish you the best of luck with that, and you know, the rest of your studies. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us today. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you to you guys for watching. Hopefully you found this a really useful and worthwhile experience. If it is something that you're interested in, then please do more research, find out whether this is kind of the thing for you, or maybe, you know, realize that actually this is something that is not quite what you expected. So just do your research. I think that's the most important message that we can share. You know, go to the Pathways website, see what information that we have on there that can, you know, help you with your choices and different options that you may have. And also don't forget to check out the rest of the episodes in this interview with series. But as for today, thank you so much again for watching, and we shall see you soon. Bye-bye.